noise, lights, smells, movement in your periphery. For most people, that's just background. For ADHD brains, it can feel like walking into a sensory danger zone. Highway to the danger zone. Cue Kenny Loggins. Yep, you know the song. If you don't, find it. So that's one of the hidden costs of returning to the office, this danger zone. Up to 43% of adults with ADHD report sensory over-responsiveness, meaning they're more likely than neurotypicals to be overwhelmed by sounds, lights, textures, smells. Hi, I'm Andrea, and I am an ADHD educator and coach. This is part 2 of my Return to Office series. Today I want to talk about sensory overload, why shared workspaces can feel overwhelming if you have ADHD, and what you can do to protect your focus. Now, this won't apply to every office situation or everyone's experience, and that's okay. The right people will be nodding their heads and you'll get it. And if you're one of them, let me know in the comments after you watch this video, of course. And I'll tell you about my experience first. In one of my office jobs many years ago, I sat at a long desk under fluorescent lights, and often by mid-morning I had a headache. Occasionally at lunchtime, someone nearby had microwaved their leftovers, and the strong smell would permeate as I ate it at their desk, and the scent would cling to the inside of my nose. I mean, even nice smelling smells can really get in there and cause headaches. And at the same time, there were all the people walking by me because it was a big office. And there was the chatter around me, people talking as they do. My brain was trying to track every movement as if it couldn't filter out what mattered and what didn't. Sometimes I thought I saw movement when there wasn't any. Shadows, other things in the periphery. By the end of the day, I was often drained, not because of the work itself, but because of the environment. And it's not always about chaotic offices. I once had a manager who was lovely in every way. He was fantastic. He was supportive. He was kind. He was exactly the kind of leader you want. He wore a really strong cologne, and it made me feel sick. It made me feel nauseous and gave me headaches. And that's a really awkward situation. With sensory overload, it's not about blaming people or judging preferences. It's about how our nervous systems process input differently. Scent-free offices exist because scent is a common migraine trigger. For ADHD professionals, the office can mean a number of things. It can mean constant background chatter you can't tune out. Been there. It can mean harsh lighting that causes migraines or eye strain, or just even regular headaches. Again, been there. Smells from perfume, cleaning products, or even coffee. Like, I love the smell of coffee, but all these things can trigger irritation. I mean, in anyone, talking personal experience, but in anyone. Visual clutter or constant motion in your periphery that makes it impossible to focus. It's not just annoying, it's exhausting. And you can't tell your colleagues to like not be human and not do their work. And it's not their fault. I mean, you can ask them to move when they're having non-work conversations, but. And you might notice you're suddenly tense, irritable, or foggy. Maybe you crave escape, stepping outside, avoiding communal areas, or skipping lunch with coworkers. Sometimes the signs are physical, tight shoulders, fatigue that feels like your brain has locked up, or headaches you can't shake. There are lots of ways it can manifest in you. Now, here's the good news. You can put strategies in place, even if your workplace doesn't fully get it, and even if there's only so much that's within your control. So, for example, build a small sensory toolkit. So that can mean noise canceling headphones or something you can discreetly fidget with, or maybe like something soft that you can just hold on to. You can create micro retreats, even a small stairwell break or 60 seconds, very different than 60 minutes, with your eyes closed, can reset your nervous system. Take like a 3-minute breathwork break or a small meditation, just something to get away. You can advocate for small changes like moving your desk to a quieter spot if you can, using dividers if you can't, requesting softer lighting if you can. And when you can, give yourself buffer time before and after meetings, meetings or commutes, so you can decompress. Managing sensory overload isn't about being picky or entitled. And I think a lot of us fear looking entitled because so many people act that way. And we grew up in a generation where we didn't expect accommodation. But advocating for yourself so you can do your best work and working within what you can control is taking responsibility. You got to try to do what you can do, work within that, and do the work. It's about protecting your bandwidth. When you spend all day filtering chaos, you don't have energy left for the work that matters. So this is part 2 of my Return to Office series. If you missed part 1, you can watch it here. I'm still getting used to this YouTube thing. I'll put the card up there and put the link in the description below. In part 1, I break down the hidden costs of commuting and transitions. In part 3, I'll dive into women's health and ADHD at work, because well enough to work doesn't always mean well enough to commute. I'm Andrea, and this is your reminder. If returning to office feels harder than it should, it's not you. It's the environment. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in part 3.